It is said that some things are easier said than done. Well, that statement is particularly true in my own case. Okay, as a healthcare professional, sometimes we educate people on how to go about a lot of things,
Do this, do that, blah, 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 blah.
but some of those things, I'm going to be honest and blunt as possible, are easier said than done. Until you are in that shoe, until it becomes your reality, you will really not, you might really not be able to say this is how it really feels like. You can just assume, you can only assume this is what it should be like, but you cannot truly tell until that is your reality. And such was my case when I became a mom. Though I already had knowledge of most of those things, but not to the degree with which it became my reality. Okay, I had expectations that were not met, that were shattered because things were not really turning out the way I expect or the way I know it should be. All right. You also need to know that parenting is actually a privilege that God has given us. If you're a parent, you just know that God has given you that privilege to, be a guardian, a caretaker to that child. So it needs some level of intentionality, it needs some level of commitment. So if you are not aware or you are not ready to face that reality, it's going to be a very difficult journey for you. The first thing I wish I had known is the fact that it's not easy to control your anxiety, your fears, especially if you're trying to conceive and after you've been certified medically okay. Okay, you and your partner, both of you are medically okay. You just feel okay with the right timing and everything should just click. It's not like that. Okay, when I got married to my husband, we wanted to start a family, but after the first month and all, no show. God, I panicked. I panicked. I'm not going to even paint it. Coupled with the fact that for the first 2 or 3 years of our marriage, we were staying apart. But God, that 1 month was like the longest 1 month of my life. Okay, as a health worker, you feel something is wrong, you're already making diagnosis in your head, you're already making assessments, you're saying, asking and querying yourself, could it be this, could it be that? A lot of things were going on my mind, you guys, and it felt like, what did I do wrong, what has gone wrong, or but that experience helped me to know that, you know sometimes when you cancel a patient and it seems the thing is not working out, or they are not heeding to your counsel, you have to repeat it over and over again. Okay, so I was really over the moon when that waiting period was finally over. So I wish I had known that. So you need to know that even though you might be physically, medically okay, you've met other criteria, it might not just happen when you expect it. That is why it is said you should keep trying until you have consistently tried for 1 year, okay, before you can seek for help, or 6 months if you are advanced in age. So that was my experience, and it was not a funny one. Secondly, I wish I had known that breastfeeding was not as easy as it looks. Okay, you see people breastfeeding and all, it looks like, is it not just to put baby to breast and let the child suckle? It was not as easy as it looked, because if you don't get a comfortable position to sit in, if your back is not supported and all, it's going to ache really bad. All right. And we tell people, okay, you can express, you can pump. I didn't know that pumping too was not that easy. All right. It looked easy when you try and teach people, when we teach people, when we tell people what to do, but damn, is not easy. Pumping can be painful and uncomfortable sometimes. I told you I'm going to be blunt about it. Okay? You need to check your work life balance. If you are a working mom, your spouse is also working, you need to decide beforehand how you want to balance your work life. Okay? It was a difficult task for me because I never really thought about it. And when it was time for me to go back to work, I was having second thoughts. I was having difficulty having to process the fact that I'm going to have to put my baby in a crèche, a daycare, and all of that. Thank God my mom came through for me. She came around, stayed, and helped carry my baby while I was at work. That might not be your case, that might not be your reality, but unless, of course, you're a remote worker. But if you are not, you need to have a concrete plan ahead of time, because when I was to return to work, I already had such a bond with my baby that I felt, oh, they are, they might not look after this child the way I would want. If I have my way, I don't want to take my baby to a daycare. So you need to put a lot of things into perspectives. You need to map out your plan and take action. The next thing I wish I had known before having a baby is the discomfort that comes with lochia discharge. Lochia is, the bloody discharge that comes out after birth, whether you go through vaginal birth, whether you had a vaginal birth or a cesarean birth, you're going to have it. Okay? So the discomfort that comes with it, that you have to, wear pad and keep changing it, and the discomfort that comes with having moisture down there for like 2 to 3 weeks. For some other people it might be more than that. Is another reality that I had to wake up to. Guys, I didn't find that funny. Okay? And to think that, it's not like period flow that will flow for some days, and as the day, even though it tends to reduce as the day goes by, but the discomfort was something else for me. Next is the fact that you need to accept and take all the help that you need. You need to rest, you need to sleep, you need to recover. I mean, you just popped out a whole human from your body. Girl, you need to recover. Like, I cannot emphasize this enough. So you see that omugo period, for people that are from Nigeria, you know what I'm talking about. That postpartum care that you receive, that omugo period, enjoy it while it lasts. Take all the help, all the care, all the whatever, all the support that is coming, because you need it to recover and recover well. It's going to help you a lot to rest and recover well. Some of us that are health workers, yes, when we have a baby, we want to see everything, we want to make sure that everything is done right, but try as much as you can to get all the rest that you need. Allow them to help you, provide the necessary guidance. You don't necessarily have to be the one doing everything because you feel they are not going to do it well to your satisfaction. Provide the needed guidance and take a rest. You need it. Okay? Don't try to be the one doing everything because you feel every other person cannot do it right. Provide the necessary guidance, and if you feel someone wants to do something to your baby that you don't like or you don't agree with, respectfully tell that person not to. Okay? You don't have to be the one doing everything. In essence, I'm trying to say that if you have a solid and a good support system, girl, you don't know what God has done for you. Seriously, that support system is very important. Okay, if it's just you on your and your partner, you have to take turns. Okay, so that you won't break down trying to care for your child alone. No be only you born am, no be only you waka come, so you cannot be the only one caring for and handling the baby affairs. So before you think of having a child, you need to assess your support system. It's very, very important. Do you have a solid support system? Is your partner supportive? Can they be available for you emotionally? Can they be available for you physically? Can they help out in the house? Can they help with the baby? Are they willing to learn? These and many more questions you need to ask yourself and put into perspective before you think of having a child. I also wish I had known that my emotions had to be in check at every point in time. Like, you need some level of emotional readiness to be able to care for a child. Taking care of a child is really stressful. It's stressful. It's a daunting task. Okay, you need some level of emotional readiness to know that, okay, this child might not really sleep when you want him to sleep. This child is going to cry the moment you feel, okay, I need to rest, I need to close my eye, even if it's for 10 minutes. That is when this baby wants to cry. That is when this baby wants to suckle. That is when this baby wants to play. You need to be emotionally ready for a lot of switch. When I had my baby, my priorities changed. When I had my baby, my priorities got reordered. You also need to do some personal assessment, personal assessment of yourself. Are you emotionally ready? Are you physically ready? Are you medically okay? Is your partner medically okay? There are a lot of things to consider. If you know some of these things is going to really reduce the stress that comes with having and caring for a baby. Okay, you need to you need that mental readiness, you need that physical readiness, you need that emotional readiness, you need readiness in all ramification. Again, you need to know that parenting is a long-term commitment. Like, this baby, those children, they have come to stay. They are not going to go away anytime soon. Okay, you are going to be there, you're going to care for them, you're going to have to alter your plans here and there just to make sure that they are okay, just to make sure that they are faring well. So it's a long-term commitment that needs some intentionality. It needs you to be disciplined in whatever you have mapped out to do as a parent. And then do you also know that you need the help of God? Because sometimes when you see other parents, the way their children behave, you go like, if I am the mother of that child, he cannot be behaving like that. Who told you? What do you know about the parents, the parenting style of that person you are judging? You don't know their parenting styles. You don't know the effort that they have put in to bring up that child, and yet you see that behavior that you feel is a turn off. Okay, I'm not making excuses for bad parenting, but then you need the help of God, because sometimes you can just do everything humanly possible, all that you needed to do, and yet you don't see what you want in that child as regards their behavior. The Bible says that the enemy goes about like a roaring lion, seeking for whom to devour. Sometimes he waits for you at the family place. So you need the help of God. I don't know what you believe in, but I believe in God, and I sincerely believe that we need God's help at all times. And parenting is not an exception. I also wish I had known that having a baby would encroach on my me time, is going to make me have little or no me time. When I had my baby, I discovered that everything, my priorities change, and most times all I do is I just want to take care of this baby. I just want to be sure my baby is fine, that I had little or no time for myself. You need to know ahead of time that you parenting is going to stress you, but nevertheless you need to have your me time, your you time. What is that thing that keeps you sane? Is it your work? Are you a remote worker? Is it reading or a program? Just anything that you know keeps you sane, anything that can help you calm down, calm your nerves when you're stressed, because parenting, having a child, is going to stress you. It comes with a lot and lot of stress. You need to be ready for that. Okay? So you need to have your personal time. Okay, if you have a good support system, they could care for the child while you have some personal time. You have time to reflect, time to take care of your physical, mental, and spiritual needs. Because if you neglect yourself, over time is going to start telling on you. You also need to know that bonding with your baby might not happen immediately. For some people it does, for some others it doesn't. With my first baby, I bonded immediately. With the second baby, it took a lot of time for me to be able to bond well with my second baby. You need to know that a lot of people struggle with postpartum depression, and in worst case scenario, postpartum psychosis. So you need to get yourself equipped. You need to read. If you don't like reading, you need to watch videos. You need to study, get the knowledge and information that you need ahead of your journey. So just in case you are hearing about postpartum psychosis and postpartum depression for the first time, well, you're welcome. You need to take your health checks seriously. Some people have medical history of hypertension, diabetes, and other medical conditions in their family line. Okay, so if you come from such a family, or you are predisposed to having some of those medical diseases, you also need to take your health checks seriously. You need to eat healthy, and you need to know that each pregnancy is different, like very different. Okay, when I was pregnant with my first baby, I felt really sick. It was a difficult journey for me. But then there are people that when they are pregnant for the first time, they don't even feel sick. They just do anything, do their chores, go to work, and all of that. So you need to know that ahead of time that no two pregnancies are the same. And if you have watched up to this moment and you are yet to subscribe, I don't know what you're waiting for. Please subscribe. Bonus point, you need to follow your instincts. Yes, you need to follow your instincts. Don't allow anyone to pressure you. Don't allow anyone to, make you do things that you don't really want to do. If you feel something is not okay for your baby, seek a professional help, seek a second opinion, but don't feel pressure to do what you don't want to do. Follow your instincts. Do what works for you. It is said that you should sleep when the baby is sleeping and all. It doesn't work like that for some people. If you don't have a support system, for instance, who is going to help you do the chores when the baby is sleeping and you also go to sleep? You just have to find your way around it. If you need a paid help, so if you are trying to conceive, I really hope that you get a positive result soonest. I hope that God will come through for you. Bye and see you in my next video.